So regardless, you can basically use that on-page SEO to run one of these parent keywords, and it will give you a gazillion number of search suggestions. So here's what all the people on Google are searching that's relevant to this keyword. And they give you several metrics for each one of these keywords, like volume of that keyword and how difficult it is to rank for. Now, ideally, that's very overwhelming, right? So ideally, what you want to do is to start prioritizing these keywords and understand where you would start. So what I have basically put together is a step-by-step instructions to to find what I call these opportunity keywords. So opportunity keyword is a keyword that has the highest amount of potential for organic traffic. So it's got a high volume, low competition, and high commercial intent. All right. So high volume, low competition, high commercial intent. And these are three metrics we use to basically judge a certain keyword and help us prioritize. So what we do then is to run the number of volume that each keyword gets, multiply that by 1 over a metric called keyword difficulty that tells you how difficult it is to rank for that keyword based on how many backlinks each one of the search results that are already ranking on top 10 search results have. So some industries are more competitive than another, of course. And then last but not least is commercial intent. And the metric that we use for that is cost per click. So if advertisers are willing to bet on that keyword, it's an indication that keyword is very valuable because advertisers like to make money. So, so basically, we multiply that by the 1 plus cost per click of that keyword. So once you multiply these three numbers together, it gives you a relative metric, which we call the opportunity score. I used to call it the Farzad score, and our team was like, no. So we landed on opportunity score. So that just, once you sort descending on that sheet, is going to give you an exact blueprint of what are some of the keywords you need to prioritize based on those three. And before that, I skipped this step. And for example, if you have a keyword difficulty, we normally have a rule of thumb where we don't target keywords that have a higher keyword difficulty than our domain rating. Because what that means is basically stay within your league. If you're just starting out, don't go target super high competitive keywords. Start with from some of the easier ones and then sort of build your way up over time. So you guys have you guys have a very good domain rating upvoting because you have, when your customers use your product, they normally have a powered by upvoted there. So you get quite a lot of natural backlinks just from your customers. So you have a good domain rating. So that it basically creates a lot of opportunity for you to be able to target some of the more higher competitive keywords. And then basically what you want to do is to understand what the user intended for each one of these keywords. If it's an informational keyword, like for example, how do I get user feedback? Just go ahead and open it low incognito, run it through Google, and just analyze the top 10. Take a look at the top 10. It's no rocket science. And it's likely going to be a blog article. It's an informational keyword, right? So surprise, surprise. We need to create a blog article for this. And understands, like, under people also ask what are some of the questions that people are looking to get answers from, and try to create a content that's better than the top 3 search results. All right. And better sometimes means it's either more concise or is it longer, depending on that keyword. So you don't want to just rely on word counts to judge, okay, if the top 10 search results are 2,000 words, we're going to create one that's 2,500 words, right? It's not how it works. You want to focus more on user and user UX, and basically understand, okay, how can I get the most amount of value to the user in the shortest amount of words possible, and maybe include a video in there as well, right? So anything you can do so as a human, when you land on that page, how can you actually add more value there? And then sometimes some keywords are user feedback software. So in that case, you want to create a landing page. Most likely people aren't just looking for a blog post about it. So they're looking to either look for a listicle, or they're looking for a software page or landing page. It's what we call money pages. So that's where a sales page goes. So you create basically web pages correspondent to the user intent of each one of these keywords. All right. It's no rocket science. And the amount of these pages you create is depending on the amount of resources you have. So if you're a one-man show, create like 5 of them. If you got a team of 10, create 100. And basically, once you go ahead and put out these websites out, and then you want to create the right site structure, right? So I don't mean to get too technical here, but you want to include internal links. So for example, if you're writing a post on how do I get user feedback, and if you mention, hey, you can use the user feedback software to do this for you, It shouldn't come as a shock that you should probably link your landing page on there. So we create what we call these silos, which is just a fancy word for saying different categories. So for user feedback, for SaaS, for etc., you want to create a separate feedback page or a separate category page, and each one of these has a list of content pieces around it, and then the link to normally a landing page that corresponds to each one. So for user feedback, it's got it. For example, bug tracking or issue tracking is another landing page, and it's got some content pieces assigned to it, right? And then so that's how you build the right site structure, and that's normally step one. And that's the foundation, and that's normally where a lot of people just stop. They're like, okay, I done my job, this is it. We're gonna get rich tomorrow. And if that was the case, which I hope it was, and then everybody would be billionaires by now. So basically that's sort of where the promotion aspect starts.